Welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play through some cool Pico 8 games to show to you lovely people. It's a very special video today. This is my end of 2023 best of the year video. I do one of these videos every year, the idea being that I pick my favourite games that I've covered on the channel through the year and make a video celebrating them. So I've narrowed it down to 10 games from this year which I really enjoyed. Well, actually that's a lie. There's 10 games and then 3 honourable mentions because I couldn't get it down to 10. I've changed the video format a little bit from previous years. Previously, I had a rule where I said that there would only be 1 game per developer, but for reasons which will become very clear very soon, that wouldn't really have worked this year, and I would have been ruling out games kind of unfairly just on the basis of them being made by the same extremely talented developer. So yeah, that rule's out the window. The rest of it's all the same. So there's no categories that I'm going to be saying this is the best platformer, this is the best shooter or anything. I'm just picking my list of my favourite games. I've tried to pick a mixture of genres, but this is my personal list, so I am going to skew towards types of games that I just personally prefer. So hint, you're going to see a few platformers. I'm not going to be ranking the games in any way. These games are all really good. I won't be able to narrow it down to, oh, this is my #1 game from the year, so I'm not doing that. It's going to be in alphabetical order. Well, the honourable mentions will be first, and yeah, I'll be going through it in alphabetical order. If you want to play a little game, you can try and guess what games I'm going to be picking on my list. If there is all the links in the description. If you want to play the game, don't look at the description yet. I have tried to pick games that were released this year. Now, it's not always clear when games are released in Pico 8. It depends on which site you look at, where they've been uploaded first, and sometimes developers may have been working on a game for a number of years and may have added to it and such. As far as I can tell, these games are all from this year. They're all fairly current, so I'm not picking a game from 2015 and saying this was Game of the Year 2023. They're all fairly recent. 2023 was a really strong year for Pico 8 once again. I say that every year. Oh, 2021 was a great year for Pico 8. 2022 was a great year for Pico 8. 2023 was a great year for Pico 8. There are loads of really cool games. I've got it down to a list of 13, but I could have easily have done 20 games on here that are all really good. So yeah, another really strong year. Lots of shmups this year. Lazy Devs Academy has been running a tutorial series, the Advanced Shmup Tutorial Series. That has already, I think it's still ongoing, as the tutorial series is still ongoing, and already there are many, so there have been several really good shmups coming out of that tutorial series. There's a whole Discord, there's a whole community there, all working together and creating amazing shmups. There's been a lot of really good platformer games this year as well. I really enjoy platformer games, so I'm always going to be looking out for good platformers, but this year there's been some really imaginative, really creative ones. So it's really cool to see people experimenting and trying new things out in Pico 8 when it comes to platformers. Another thing I've noticed here is that there's been more kind of commercially released games, so games where you can buy them on itch or on Patreon. A couple, or I think, no, 2 or 3 Pico 8 games I've covered this year are on Steam. I think last year there was maybe 1, so it's really nice to see Pico 8 kind of going in that direction. It's really interesting looking at the Steam reviews for Pico 8 games. A lot of people on Steam don't kind of know necessarily what Pico 8 is. They just see it as a kind of a retro game. So it's really cool to see Pico 8 kind of getting a wider audience like that. So with all that out of the way, let's get on to the honourable mentions. Okay, the nice title card is gone. I'm afraid we are in Splore now in a folder. Look at that grey background. How nice. And look, I've taken out all of the names for the games, so you're not going to be able to see what's coming up next. You're going to have to guess. At the top, I have got my 3 honourable mentions. Let's get on to the first one. Berry Brother by Elastis Cowen, also known as Sebastian Lind. I'm going to quickly load this game up because I want to show you what it is that I really like about this game, what I think makes it unique. This is a Metroidvania, a platformer game, and it's got an interesting continuum mechanic actually, and this is continuing from where I left off, which is handy because it's right next to where I want to be. So yeah, you can run around through the game like this. It's got Sebastian Lin's very instantly recognizable artistic style, and it's got this very interesting mechanic. Watch this. If I press the X button, it changes the background, but now I'm no longer running around like a platformer. It's like a top-down dungeon crawler, kind of like an old Zelda game, and we can switch between these two perspectives. So how unusual, how strange. Yeah, the thing that really made this game stand out to me is this mechanic. It's so interesting. It makes some really cool puzzles, platforming puzzles, because you can kind of switch gravity off, walk to where you need to go. The different perspectives have different threats, so you can see we've got lava here, but then we've also got lava there. Now, when we're in the top-down perspective, we can't actually run into the lava as such, but we can when we go back to normal, the side-on perspective. So yeah, really cool game. This is the first Metroidvania that I'm sort of singling out for this year, which had a really interesting kind of core mechanic. Yeah, and it's got Sebastian Lin's trademark style all over it. Real cool sense of humour as well. Really fun little game. The next game on my list is Golf Monday by Johan Peitz. This game came out in November, and it is a remake, a remaster, a sequel to his 2021 game Golf Sunday. Do you see what he did with the name there? Do you see what he did? Yeah, it's a golf game, but it's a really fun golf game. Very anarchic. You can freely wander around the course, attacking other golfers, driving golf carts with reckless abandon. You can play some golf in between that, of course. It's got some very easy to pick up, very quick, streamlined, fun golf mechanics. There is a power meter when you're on the green, the fairway. I can't remember my golf terminology. When you're trying to put the ball at the end, there is a power meter there, but when you're doing the long shots, it just has a kind of circular target, and it speeds things up immensely. The presentation is incredible. The graphics are really charming and cute. Johan Peitz's games always have amazing pixel art, and as you can hear, music by Vav Music Magic, who's collaborated with Johan Peitz on a few of his games now. I think it's maybe 3. I'm losing count. Really cool music, really good gameplay, really fun. Yeah, go and check it out. Is it a HD remaster? The original Golf Sunday was made for low-res Jam 2021, which meant that it had a resolution of 64 pixels by 64, which is a quarter of the standard size for Pico 8, which isn't exactly high res to begin with. So yeah, Johan stretched the game out to this higher resolution. It really helps the game, it really improves the graphics, and just makes it really playable. It's a fantastic game. It's my favourite golf game. There you go. I haven't played many golf games, but this is my favourite one. My last honourable mention is SB 1800. What an interesting game. This is a game made by Worksit. This game was made for the Create Jam in November, and yeah, I've never played a game quite like this. It's probably easiest to just run it. It's got a really cool title screen. Yeah, you have a command line which you use to enter commands, kind of like Logo, if you remember using Logo at school. This game has got a full command line interface, which is such a strange thing to add into a Pico 8 game, so unusual. If you type in various commands and press enter, it will do things. So I've just done a scan. This shows me what I am looking at in the world. So it's kind of like a kind of pen and paper dungeon crawler, where you would have to kind of draw the dungeon as you explored it, except you can kind of see it in real time. It's a completely unique game. very atmospheric. The graphics are really cool. Go and give it a look. Okay, that's the honourable mentions dealt with. Now I'm going to move on to the main portion of my list. This is my top 10 games from 2023. And my first game on the list is Air Delivery by PianoMan373. Let's get it loaded up. So I am going to spend a bit more time on these games now, try and play through them a little bit, try and show you a little bit more about them. So, Air Delivery is another Metroidvania. I said there was going to be a few Metroidvanias, didn't I? Here's another one. This was made in 2 days for Ludum Dare 53. 2 days. 2 days this game was made in. Incredible. The graphics are so cute, so nice. The music, oh, the music is so nice. It's such a chilled out game. You're a postman and you need to deliver some mail to various customers in this strange floating island kind of world. Yeah, such a delightful game. I managed to jump on top of something then. There we go. Can I get on top of the roof? No. Yeah, as you can see, the graphics are really nice. It's using a custom kind of Pico 8 palette, a kind of mixture of the main and the secret palette to give it this lovely pastel kind of colour scheme. Really unique, really nice. The platforming is, when you're not doing that, the platforming is really crisp, really good, really nice feel to the movement of the character. And there's it's just got such a nice mood to it. It's got quite a big level, lots to see and do. So, having delivered that first letter, I've now got the rock climbing ability. So if I go back to this first area, I can now climb up this suspicious rock-looking ladder type thing, and I can get some more mail. It's a Metroidvania, you know how it works. You pick up upgrades, you explore further into the map, you revisit areas with new abilities. It's a Metroidvania, okay? It's just a really well-executed Metroidvania. The whole point of Pico Playtime is that I'm trying to show the kind of the best of Pico 8. The idea being that if you were going to try and tell somebody, oh, you should try Pico 8, I should see what it is, you'd want to show them games that are just good games. Not good Pico 8 games, just good games. This is a really fantastic example of that. Yeah, such a nice game. The way that the characters, the way that the story unfolds and the way the characters kind of talk to you, it's really good. The writing is good. This is all made in 2 days. As you can see in the top left corner, there's a little indicator showing you which character you need to go to next to have an interaction with, because you are supposed to be delivering their mail. You found it! You can have this key. It opens the gate to the Underville below. So, yeah, there we go. This is how we unlock things in the game. And each letter that we deliver either advances the story somewhat or gives us an upgrade, or both. Besides the beautiful terrain and map tiles, the sprites themselves are really cute, really nicely animated. A lot of the games that I've been talking about this year, I've been trying to kind of draw attention to how good some of the animation is in Pico 8 games. Animating sprites is hard, especially animating tiny little 8x8 pixel sprites in Pico 8. All of the NPCs have multiple lines of dialogue, so it gives the world a lot of depth. You can spend quite a while just exploring this. I mean, I'm trying to play through it as kind of quickly as I can, I suppose. You want to take your time with this one, really kind of soak it in. It's all about the mood in this game. Yeah, so chill. There are some quite challenging platforming sections. As you can see here, I am really struggling with this this little area. So even though the game is very chill and is all about kind of setting a mood, there's some nice platforming in here for you as well. Hopefully you can do a little bit better than I am doing at the moment. Oh, that was just so poorly timed. Some nice little details about the level design. as you can see here, there is just this single platform that I'm stood on, which shows you where the next platform is. Often, Pico 8 platformers have this kind of scrolling screen style rather than the camera just following the character. If you are using that style for your game, you've got to be really careful not to have kind of blind jumps or walls that are kind of beyond the edge of the screen. That doesn't happen in this game because of the attention to detail in the level design. So, Air Delivery, one of my favourite Metroidvanias from this year, one of my favourite Metroidvanias on Pico 8. Such a good game, all the more impressive because it was made in 2 days for a game jam. Incredible stuff. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, my next game on my list is Beckon the Hellspawn by Loki Striker. This is a survivors-like. That's a genre, right? Yeah, it's like Vampire Survivors. So if I start the game, oh, the music, that pulsing beat, fantastic. This game has very striking graphics. We have got a blue character. All the enemies are red. This limited color palette really makes the game stand out, and that music, so good. You've also got a really good Vampire Survivors style game here. You've got upgrades, you've got a few very familiar attacks. It just plays really well. I managed to get through all of the game today. I don't think I actually managed to beat it before when I did the review. I did beat it today, and it's got a really good end boss as well. So yeah, you've got the whole thing. I managed to beat it by using the Flame Cloak. I think the Flame Cloak is really good. I'm going to use it again. Yeah. Good, good weapon. The upgrades in this are really fun, and if I go back to the title screen, in fact, you can see there's several different characters. Again, just like in Vampire Survivors, all the different characters are what makes the game so interesting to play. And yeah, each one has a kind of unique weapon as well. Look at the Possessed, for example, has this, don't even know what that is, some sort of spinning thing. How unique. So yeah, each character has a different play style, different unique weapon. You have got the same upgrades shared between characters beyond that, but still each card has its own unique play style. The upgrades are really nicely balanced. There aren't any particular upgrades that feel really weak as such. They all feel viable. So there are quite a few different builds that you can experiment with. I had the most success using the Flame Cloak, but I haven't got that this time, unfortunately. I could upgrade the sword. So the Possessed, that spinning weapon, it's the unique version of the sword. Interesting. One thing I do like, one thing that is quite tricky to do on games like this, where you have an upgrade system and where you have kind of item or weapon descriptions, Pico 8 doesn't allow a lot of text on screen just because of the resolution. So any text you do have on the screen needs to be short, to the point, and hopefully explain clearly what it is. These upgrades, you can make sense of what these upgrades do. Often when I play RPGs or Pico 8 games that have an upgrade system, it's often very hard to tell what upgrades necessarily do. The games don't often explain them very well. This game does. So yeah, that's a big feather in this game's cap. All of the sprites are really nicely animated. They're all very kind of stylish and recognisable, which is always good. And the music, did I mention how good the music is? Oh, it sets the mood, doesn't it? I also love this circular kind of vision that we have. Really gives the game a very distinct, moody, Diablo-esque look. Very much appreciated. One of the interesting things that this game adds are these kind of, I think they're called pylons, maybe? I'm not too sure. Anyway, these areas, you have to kind of hang around in here to charge them up. and when you do, it kind of raises the difficulty level of the game, but that's what you need to advance through. So there's a kind of risk-reward mechanic going on there. If you charge all of them up, you'll get to the boss quicker, and you tend to have a kind of easier time, maybe. It's a cool idea. I like the addition of it. All the weapons are really nicely animated. Mark this off your bingo cards. There's nice particle effects. I haven't mentioned title screens yet either. There's some good title screens in the games this year. 2023 has been a very strong year for title screens. You can see next to my player there is a little red pixel dot telling me where I need to go to next. The next area that I need to visit to here we go, to advance. Little quality of life features like that, attention to detail, that's what we're after on this channel. Oh, it's such a satisfying game to play this. If you've never played a Survivors like before, this is a great place to start. It's such a cool game. Such a satisfying game to play, and quite a hard game, as you can see here. Oh, I did want to show you that. The game over is so good, so stylish. There you go, 3 minutes 35, Doom 8. Yeah, those pylon things that you charge up, they increase the Doom. And if you increase it high enough, you get to fight the end boss. And it is a really good end boss. There you go, Beckon the Hellspawn. Fantastic Survivors-like game for Pico 8. Go and check it out. My next game is Hellgineers by Johan Pietz. Yes, this is my second game in my list from Johan Pietz. Here we are on the Hellgineers title screen. Oh, the music, the music. More audio by Vav Music Magic, one of Johan Pietz's frequent collaborators. Really knocked it out of the park on this one. Such a cool soundtrack to this game. So Johan Pietz is a professional Pico 8 developer, and consequently you see a professional level of Pico 8 development in his games. This title screen, for example, we've got a custom font. How stylish. A good way of setting the game apart from other Pico 8 games. Yeah, the font is by some Pix at the bottom. And yeah, it just gives the game a special look. It's a bridge building game, and if I just roll the mouse wheel down, you can see there are 40 levels. I've got about halfway through. You get ratings for each level. Blue is the best, I believe. So let's have a look at some of the levels then. Let's try the big gap. So, the graphics in this game, oh, so good. So that's the level that we've just seen there that we need to build a bridge across. We've got two characters that we need to help across the lava, and if I drag the mouse around, this is a mouse-driven game, if you haven't noticed. These orange circles, these are the points where we can build. So as you get into the game, you get different materials to build from. These kind of thick lines, these are our kind of bread and butter. Yeah, you can, it's like a bridge building game. You've played it before, yeah? Very familiar, hopefully. But what this game is ridiculously polished. It's all about polish with these games. That's a pretty shoddy looking bridge. Let's see if that works. At the top there, you can see you have a budget. The best I've managed this level in is 56. I'm at 49 now. Let's see how that goes. Oh. Yeah, watching your characters, watching these little demons try to get across your flimsy bridges is so much fun. And this little charming fellow at the bottom here, he admonishes you between levels, whether you're successful or not. He's not very supportive. Yeah, so much personality in this game. It's just great. Made a slight adjustment to the bridge there. Let's see if that will do it. Oh, it's so flimsy. There we go. Hey. So, at the end of each level, you get a little rating based on how well you did, whether you were under budget or by how far you're under budget. You also get these kind of awards. I'm not sure what these necessarily correlate with. Indestructible, I believe, is if the bridge doesn't collapse during the level. Bridges can collapse, that's fine. As long as you guys get across the lava, it doesn't really matter what happened to the bridge afterwards. Yeah, the graphics in this game are outstanding. The music's outstanding. The gameplay is really fun, really well realised. All these extra buttons then. Look, for example, you can click GIF and it will make a little GIF of your level, which you can show to your friends. How cool is that? The game does actually teach you a little bit about engineering. As you can see here, we are being recommended to use triangles. Triangles are a very strong shape. So, the ancients called it a truss. Yeah, you can actually learn about bridge building by playing this game. Okay, let's see how this one does. So these blue lines, this is where our characters can travel. The grey ones are just for support, so they won't block movement, as you can see. Too bad that bridge kind of sucked, though. It's so much fun watching them burn to death. Horrific. The demons, it's fine. I'm sure they're fine. Let's try putting some more. Let's try putting some more trusses. Let's actually build a bridge the way it's telling us to build it. Let's build a nice, neat truss bridge. See what happens then. Okay, that looks like a truss bridge. Maybe a little bit tall. Let's see how it does. Pretty bad. What went? Oh, those two bits weren't joined up. That's why. All right, let's try it again. Look at that. Stable as a table. A lot of the fun of the game comes from building a successful bridge like that, and then going back and trying to take parts out. You basically want to make as weak a bridge as you can get away with, which I don't really think is how engineers in the real world work. Well, I hope it's not how the engineers really work. Anyway, let's try taking out some components. See if that spoils things. Let's see. I wonder if we need those supports at the top. Let's find out. Yes, we do. It nearly got all the way across though, so maybe if we just put one back. Maybe if I can make this side of the bridge more stable. No. Back to the drawing board. The game does a really good job of showing you, giving you feedback basically. When the bridge is being used, you see that joints flash red to show you that they're under stress. It's little bits of feedback like that make the game so immensely playable. Let's try that. Nice. I used slightly fewer parts. I could probably do better though. So, Hellgineers by Johan Pietz, a fantastic bridge building game with a great sense of humour, so much replay value. It's such a big game. Look at how many levels there are. It's crazy. Okay, that was Hellgineers, Johan Pietz's fantastic bridge building game. So much fun, so funny. Moving on then, my next game is Kalikan by Louis Chapman. Let's get this one loaded up. This is one of the, look at this start of the game. It's booting up like an old arcade game. How cool is that? So good. Yeah, this is a shmup that is kind of in the same orbit as the other shmups in the Lazy Devs Academy tutorial series Discord community. Really polished shmup. Let's give it a look then. So if we press start, we have got 3 ships, but I'm rubbish at the game, so I've only unlocked the first one. Let's get into it then. So we have got 2 modes of fire. If we tap the fire button, we do a spread shot like this, or if we can hold fire, we do a beam shot. This will be familiar to anyone who's played a modern shmup in the last 10 years or so. Yeah, really polished modern shmup gameplay. It's all about getting a long streak, chasing those high scores. Of course, when you're at the stage of the game that I'm at, it's not about chasing the high scores, it's about merely surviving. And I'm doing a pretty horrendous job of this. I actually managed to set a high score earlier on today when I was just playing the game again to refamiliarize myself. Obviously, in the intervening hours, I've lost all ability to play this game. So, yeah, again, really outstanding graphics on this game. It's such a nice... kind of colourful, blocky, strong look to the game. The scrolling parallax backgrounds are really fantastic. All the enemy sprites as well. It's amazing that so many sprites and so much animation has been crammed into a Pico 8 cart. Because yeah, it just looks great, doesn't it? All of the pickups, all of the presentation, the UI, the HUD, it's all so incredibly polished. It's not a game that rewards trying to talk and play it at the same time. To do well at this game, you need to concentrate. The movement of the ship feels great. Everything is beautifully animated. Look at the player's sprite when you are moving left and right. Really nice animation and graphics. The bullet patterns are fiendish. Oh, look at that background. Here we are at a boss. The boss has a health bar, which is really nice to see. Often you don't have health bars in shmups. So, yeah, it's good to know how much progress you're managing to make. Oh, that's my last ship. Yeah, this is a high score chasing game. You can see all of my previous attempts here. There is a combo system as well to get an even higher score. I'm not very good at doing that though. Very addictive gameplay. As soon as you get wiped out in this game, and believe me, you will get wiped out many times. Anyway, as soon as that happens, you're wanting to fire up another game and giving it another crack. There is no fat on this game whatsoever. Outstanding shmup. The standard of shmups on Pico 8 this year has skyrocketed. If you are a bit of a shmup novice, then you probably will find this game exceptionally difficult. I'm finding it difficult enough, and I feel like I've played quite a few shmups. So yeah, don't come into this game thinking that you're going to have anything handed to you. It is a challenging game. It's a game that you need to learn. You need to learn the enemy patterns, learn where the safe zones are on the screen. Otherwise, you'll have a very short, very explosion-filled life. There are bombs as well. There are bombs. Don't forget to use the bombs, because I do. That's probably why I'm not doing so well. Let's try and use a bomb. Let's see if I can get through this boss by using the bombs. It's that one that always gets me, I think. Have I run out of bombs? Maybe? Hey, there we go. You see, use the bombs. So, got myself a little power up there, and we're straight into the next level. Like I say, there is no fat on this game. It is very lean, all gameplay, all action. That's it. This level's tricky. I love the enemy, the variety of the enemies, the different patterns as well, the waves. There's a really good ramping up of the difficulty. And that boss as well, what a cool boss fight. Right, let's put a high score in. I don't think it's such a great high score, that. Let's see where we are. I think it's 5th, isn't it? Not too bad, I suppose. Kalikan, a great modern shmup. I love the arcade style as well. That boot up sequence, what a cool detail to add. Okay, my next game is Motion Wreck, and this is by the developer called Shomaishi. That's how you pronounce it. It's another Metroidvania, everyone. It's another Metroidvania with a unique game mechanic. So let's start off. We've got these 1-bit graphics. Oh, these 1-bit graphics are so stylish. It's not true 1-bit, is it? Seeing as we've got 2 different cores there, but you know what it's getting at, don't you? We've got some sound effects. This is the movement of the character is quite there's a lot of acceleration, but the platforming in this game is not what the focus is about. The focus is on this. We can pick up a cassette. Now, this is the kind of central gimmick. This is what makes the game, because without this central gimmick, it's a pretty standard platformer. But look what happens now. I can hold up, press circle, and I can start recording. And now, though that's the move I just did. So if I play that back, oops, if I play that back, it kind of rewind, it kind of saves your movement, and you can ascend and progress through the level. I've never seen anything like this before in a game. Yeah. So many unique Metroidvanias have come out for Pico 8 this year, and this is one of the best. This recording idea is you can even going backwards so you can rewind. This recording idea is just brilliant. The problem that the game has is that it is a little bit on the well, it's very short. In fact, the first half of the level is kind of a tutorial. I mean, you can see here it's actually telling us exactly what we need to do. So difficulty wise, the game isn't all that difficult. It's not all that long either, but this central idea is just so interesting and so much fun to play around with. That's why it's here. I just also realize I've just kind of done that wrong. So yeah, we are supposed to record as we're falling down here, like that, although I think I've done that wrong. Let's see. So you hold up or down to either record, play, or play in reverse. So fortunately that was okay. It's yeah. You need to play this game for yourself and just try it. It's so unique. It's a shame really that the game is so short. It could really do with a mission pack. I've already asked, I've already made the call, made the plea to people to stop making Celeste mods and start making Motion Wreck mods, because we need more levels for this great game. Look at how fluid it is. So this area is the kind of trickiest part of the game, and kind of sadly, it's also the end of the game. As you can see there, I was playing through that fairly slowly, explaining it as I was going along, and I still managed to do it in 3 minutes 54. This is not a long game. If only this game was longer, but it still made my end of the year list because it's such a unique idea. The shortness, I suppose, does work to its advantage, because you could show somebody the entirety of this game, as you can see, in under 5 minutes. So, Motion Wreck, a very small but perfectly formed, unique platformer. Is it a Metroidvania? It's not really a Metroidvania, is it? It's a platformer. It's a great game, though. Go and check it out. My next game is another platformer. It's Panda Pizza by Kitten Master. This is such a Pico 8 game. As you can see up there, slightly tongue-in-cheek, it says only for Pico 8. But yeah, truly, only on Pico 8 can you get such a game like this. So you're a panda, you're driving a car, and you're trying to deliver pizza. So we drive around like so. we can jump like so, and we are in a strange cartoony city. There's lots of animals popping their heads out of these buildings. These buildings are levels that I've already completed. Let's get into a level then. So I'll go into level 3. So in the game, what you have to do, you have to drive around these city levels, these cityscapes, collecting pizza slices. Once you've collected enough pizza slices, you form a pizza, and then you need to go and give that to customers, like so. And you get a time. There you go. Not bad. There is a definite speedrun element to this game. When you're first starting a level, let me go to one of the... let's go to a harder level. When you first start a level in the game, it does have kind of puzzle elements. There's a certain aspect of trying to work out the order in which you need to collect things, where you need to go, planning out a route. So, yeah, I would love to see a speedrun of this game. Oh, the attention to detail. Those, the crocodile, when you go on that manhole cover. Brilliant. So yeah, besides making pizzas, what the game also asks you to do is rescue mice, which you can see, that's what I'm doing right now. There's the mouse house. So we've got one mouse home. I believe there's another one somewhere. Whilst we're looking for that mouse, let's collect more pizza. Now, as you can see, in the top left, there are these little Polaroid pictures. These are our customers. These are who we are trying to get the pizzas to. The only trouble is, some of the customers are wearing hats, and they need to be wearing the correct hat. Don't ask me why a pizza delivery driver is messing around with people's hats. That's just what we've got to do. So if we have a look at the top left, we can see that looks like a cat character, and they need to have a hat. Now, unfortunately, these thumbnails, these little Polaroids, are black and white, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes what exactly you need to do. So this is where the puzzle elements of the game kind of enter the fray, because yeah, you've got to pick apart a level first, and then you can look at trying to complete it quickly, which is really a really nice way of doing things. Now, there is still an outstanding mouse. Can I find this mouse? There it is. Okay, so we need to bring this mouse back to the mouse house. There we go. Once you've completed all of the Polaroids on a level, you move on to the next level, and as you can see there, I was... what, about 20 seconds? Sorry, 1 minute and 40 seconds, sorry, over the 20-second par time. That was pretty appalling. Yeah, so why did I pick this game for my list then? Well, it's the unique gameplay. Only on Pico 8 could you have such a strange game like this. The graphics are really nice. I said this in the full review, but the graphics, I don't know what it is about them, but they kind of remind me of 90s Nickelodeon cartoons. Besides the charming graphics, there's lots of nice animation. There's so much movement and so much colour on the screen. It's such a beautiful game to look at. And we've also got some really interesting, very responsive platform controls. Yeah, the movement of the car feels really nice. There's just a nice amount of momentum. Makes the movement feel very natural, and you can really speed through some levels. Now, I'm not very good at this game, so I'm going to show you level 1, which hopefully I'll be able to speed through, just to show you how kind of fluid you could become with this game. So, as you can see, there's obviously a kind of optimal route, which I'm kind of messing up. So, there we go. I managed to shave a second off my best record. Great. Yeah, there's a lot of replay value in this game, and again, it's incredible that this is just one cart as well. But yeah, there are 21 levels, I believe, and yeah, to get a top ranking on each level, that would take a lot of practice. So you are not going to be running out of things to be doing in this game. So, Pizza Panda, a really fun, fast-paced, speedrun-friendly platform game where you serve pizzas to animals. What more could you ask for in a Pico 8 game? Well, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, so my next game, game number 7, is Porter. It's another platform game. It's another platform game with unique mechanics. Let's have a look then. So this was made by Blue Mix Games, and it's got, again, a very minimal pseudo 1-bit art style. Now I'm actually at the end of the game here, so if I go to the door here and the knock, it comes up with a little outro. So I managed to complete this game in 10 minutes 38 seconds. I only died 103 times. Let's have a look and see why that is. So if I reset the cart, in fact, let's wipe the save. There we go, and start from the beginning. Porter, what a stylish title screen. What a stylish way to start the game. Having our character pop in through that portal there. So, the gimmick of this game then, you have got running and jumping, but you can teleport. If I hold a direction on the D-pad, you can see that little blue pixel. That is where I'm able to teleport to. If I press the X key, then I teleport instantly to where it is, wherever the cursor is. And this is where things get interesting. Now, the early levels are very straightforward. Later levels become fiendishly difficult. You are going to die a lot, probably. Like I say, I've practiced this game. I'm still dying quite a bit. Yeah, this style of kind of very challenging platformer, it's not often one that I particularly go for, but I made an exception for Porter because it's just so much fun. Really nice music as well that sets the mood for the game. I love the graphics and the just general look of the game. Those kind of snowy particle effects in the background there. What a nice touch. As you can see, the game gradually introduces new game mechanics for us to get to grips with. The difficulty curve, I think, in this game is really well judged. There's not too many levels early in the game where you get really stuck, but further into the game, there are some fiendishly difficult levels. You feel like an absolute platforming god when you're able to complete these levels for the first time, and I imagine that if you really practice at this game, you could get exceptionally skillful. The fact none of your abilities have any kind of cooldown and the way that the teleports happen instantaneously does lend itself to speedrunning. However, it does make the game quite tricky to get started with. The first time you come onto a level, it will be a little bit of a puzzle to work out exactly what you need to do. This, for example, needs us to flick that switch so that we have the blue platform to jump on near the exit. Yeah, working out what it is that you need to do in level is part of the fun. And fortunately, because the respawning is so quick, well, instantaneous almost, it does make experimentation a lot easier and a lot more fun. Oh, this level looks like an absolute nightmare. So, Porter by Shoma Ishii, fantastic, imaginative platformer game. Well worth a look. If I can have fun on this style of precision platformer, then I'm sure you can too, because I really don't like precision platformers all that much. But again, I'll make an exception for this one because this is great. Okay, that was Porter, the imaginative platformer game from Shoma Ishii. The next game that I want to show you on my Best of 2023 list is Shadow King. And it's by Johan Pikes again. Yes, I've got 3 Johan Pikes games in my Best of 2023 list. They're all really good though. This is the Metroidvania. It's another platformer, everyone. This is one of the best platformers on Pico 8, and there's a lot of competition there. You have got a absolutely huge level to explore. We are this charming little knight. Again, the graphics in Johan Pytz' games are second to none. And he's even managed to cram in some little bits of story. We can talk to these fallen knights. Gasp! The Shadow King! He's the end boss, by the way. So here is our first pickup, the sword, and this lets us dash. We have a very familiar suite of Metroidvania game mechanics. We have a dash. Eventually we get a double jump. There is a downward stomp attack. So far, so familiar. However, all of these very familiar elements have been put together in such a slick way by Johan Pytz. I do think that the game kind of wears its inspiration on its sleeve, and I do feel that Shovel Knight is a bit of an inspiration for this game. One of the levels later on looks very similar to the sort of thing that you would encounter in Shovel Knight. So anyway, that's nice to see, isn't it? These games showing their inspiration, wearing that proudly on their sleeve. This is quite a long game. I played through it in its entirety earlier on today as part of my researchers video, and yeah, refamiliarizing myself with the game. I was surprised how long it took me. You can easily spend half an hour on this game trying to find everything. There's some very cool boss fights. There's a couple of kind of mini bosses, and the end boss is a brilliant platformer end boss. Not just on a Pico 8 game, just platform games in general. Really good end boss. The music, the sound effects, all add to the professional level of presentation that we see in all of Johan's games now. They're so well made. You do have to pay attention to what the NPCs tell you in the game, because it's very easy to get a little bit lost. You do need to pay attention to what they're saying, and there will be a certain amount of exploration and just trying to find the next item that you're looking for. But that's fine, because the platforming movement, the combat mechanics are all so smooth. It's fun to just wander around in the castle. Okay, here's our first mini boss, the spider. Fairly simple attack pattern. Don't worry, the end boss is much more challenging than this. However, the first time I did play the game, in fact, I'm probably going to die now, aren't I? Fortunately, we can get health from these yellow enemies. Ooh, we got a chest. And is that there we go, the gravity amulet. These pop-ups, it's just like in Metroid, isn't it? Where it tells you exactly what it is that you picked up and how to use it. Attention to detail. Yeah, so this downward stomp ability is what lets us jump to some of these higher, previously inaccessible places on the map. The way that the map unfolds as you gain upgrades is really nice, really well judged difficulty curve. And the secrets as well. So much in this game, so much depth and detail. Here's a nice detail. When you come onto a new area, you can see the Shadow King's there, but he keeps running away. Yeah, that helps us know the general direction we need to be going in. So yeah, we need to get through these ice crystals. So Shadow King by Johan Pytz, an incredibly polished Metroidvania game for Pico 8. I think this one's got a Steam release as well, and deservedly so, because this is just such a good platformer. Easily stands alongside some commercially released indie games, indie platformers. Yeah, really, really good game. Okay, that was the Shadow King by Johan Pytz, a fantastic Pico 8 Metroidvania game, one of the very best on the system. Our penultimate game in this video today is Steel Surge Revolution by Loki Striker again. Yes, we have got another game by Loki Striker. There is a warning in this game about strobing effects, so if you are photosensitive, please beware. Loki Striker's got such a great splash screen. What a great logo. So here we are playing Steel Surge Revolution. This is another shmup in the Lazy Devs shmup tutorial ecosystem. You see a lot of kind of familiar features, similar to Kalikan actually. They're quite similar games, but they're both so incredibly polished. I couldn't include one and not the other. It's a kind of stripped. Steel Surge is a stripped down modern shmup. I think you call them a caravan style shmup. It's all about chasing high scores. There's a combo system. There's a kind of style system. It's all about these high scores. Now, I'll try and show as much of the game as I can. However, this is a very difficult game. Both Steel Surge and Kalikan, both difficult games. If you are good at shmups, then yeah, well, you need to be good to play this game. As you can see, you've got the familiar waves of enemies. There's a lovely mix of different enemy types, different bullet patterns. There are some... Oh, that was a difficult one there. There are some really tricky enemy patterns in the game. So, what we have at our disposal then, we have the spread shot, which you can see now. And we can also... Oops. We can also get hit. We can press the... we can release the option like this. This puts our ship into a slower movement, kind of focus fire mode. And you see that there's the option, and there's a kind of circle around the option, which is a kind of area where it can do kind of auto fire. So this is a really cool kind of spin on the kind of focus fire style of weapon. Because the auto fire, you can, as you can see, you can put that auto fire at the top of the screen. It will automatically take out enemies for you, which is really satisfying, and it does make the game, or it can make the game, or some parts of the game, a little bit easier for you, which is really important because the game is so hard. If we switch back to the spread shot, because I've there we go, classic. As I was about to say before I died, because I'd upgraded the spread shot, I was firing 4 shots. Now, I'll play a new game and I'll hopefully be able to show you an interesting kind of quirk about this spread shot. So we can still see the option orbiting around my ship. Now, if I get close to an enemy, you see that the options circle reappears. So there is that interesting push-pull risk-reward factor of, do you want to get close to these enemies that can kill you with their bullet swarms? If you get close, you can kill them faster. So maybe that's actually safer, or maybe not. It might be quicker. But if you're as horrendous at the game as I am, then that is an extremely risky strategy, and one that will usually end up with a very short game. So I'm going to avoid doing that. I'm going to place the option though at the top there, and it does, the slow movement does make it a little bit easier to avoid some of these slower patterns. You don't kind of dodge into things as much. Oh, this mid boss is so tricky. Yeah, this has got all the kind of modern shmup stylings. For example, if you defeat an enemy, any shots fired by that enemy disappear or are cleared off the screen. Your ship has a very small... Your ship has a very small kind of collision box. Not that that stops you from getting hit all that often, but you can, if you are skillful, pull off some incredibly dangerous looking dodges because of the because of the size of the collision box, he says, as he gets blown up. So yeah, gameplay aside, this is kind of very modern shmup, modern style shmup. It's the presentation that sets this game apart. The scrolling backgrounds. How cool is that scrolling background? Kalikan had a cool scrolling background. I think this one might even be better. All the enemy designs are really cool. There's quite a limited palette of colours in the game, but it gives the game a kind of a very distinctive look, and the sprite work is really good. I love the flashes, the damage flashes when you hit an enemy. Really satisfying. And when the enemies kind of flicker when they're about to blow up as well. Yeah. The bullet patterns look great. They're evil, but they look great. The music as well. That pulsing beat. Brilliant stuff. Music in shmups is so underrated. It's so underappreciated. So important to the game as well, giving you that kind of intense kind of feeling. Oh, this is a tricky boss. Nice. You can see at the top there, I've got a streak going. Yeah, if you can, I'm not sure what breaks the streak. Well, dying will obviously break the streak. I think it might break the streak if enemies manage to get off the screen without you blowing them up. And yeah, having a high streak is the main way you can go about getting yourself a oh, that laser's nasty. Yeah, keeping a high streak is the main way to go about getting a big score. Oh, this is tricky, even if it is awful. It's always the little ships that get you. Was that a high score? No. Now, because I've played this enough times, I've actually got quite a decent high score table now, and it is quite hard for me to get on there. You can see my top score there. That was my first attempt after coming back to this game, having not played it since doing the review. So yeah, beginner's luck is a big part of this game. Such a good game. Really polished shmup. Really nice graphics, music, just overall presentation. Really fantastic gameplay. If you're into your shmups, you need to give this a play. Okay, so that was Steel Surge then, a supremely polished shmup by Loki Striker. Definitely worth a look. My final game for the video is Whiplash Taxi Co by Mott. Here we are on the title screen of Whiplash Taxi Co by Mott, also known as Tom Mugru. So, we have got 3 game modes in this. Very briefly, Free Explore lets us drive around the city map freely to do whatever we want, just to explore. Street Race is a point-to-point style racing minigame, similar to the racing minigames in the GTA series. But the main game mode that we're interested in today is the Taxi Driver mode, hence the name of the game. So let's get it loaded up. We have got 3 difficulties. That controls how much money you earn from each fare. So I'm going to stick with medium, I think. See if I can beat these high scores. Probably not. And here we are in the 3D world of Whiplash Taxi Co. So yeah, Mott has kind of cornered the market in these incredible 3D engines in Pico 8. The handling of the taxi is so good. You can skid and throw the car around. It handles so well. It's really kind of arcade style driving. So much fun. It's very fast as well, which is important. Quite how you make a 3D engine in Pico 8 be as fast as this, with texture mapping, with all there is that's going on in the game, is beyond me. I mean, these cars, they drive around the city on their own. I'd have thought that'd be quite hard to program. I don't know. There's so much detail in this game. So much crammed into what is a very limited Pico 8 cartridge. So when you pick up a fare, you can see at the bottom, they're telling us where they want to go. They're in a hurry. This person wants to go to the hospital. Oh, that was quite an easy one, that's good. You can see in the top left corner there, I've got the time counting down. So you have a fixed amount of time to do as many fares as possible. It's not like in Crazy Taxi or the GTA Taxi games, where you can kind of earn more time by being quick. You've just got a fixed amount of time. So, for example, driving across the grass like I'm doing, which makes your taxi really slow, not a good strategy. It's always easy to know where you're going because the game has got a very functional mini-map and a target you can see on the screen telling us exactly where we need to be. I love the little speedo as well. It's so so satisfying seeing how fast you can go. All the different regions of the city have different kind of neighborhood names as well, so that gives the city a certain amount of personality. I love all the details that Mott's managed to get into the city. All the kind of street furniture, the lampposts, these kind of barrels, bins, the telephone boxes. You know, it's such a detailed map. The map itself is really nicely designed as well. There's quite a few kind of distinct areas, which does make kind of navigating a little bit easier. Time's up. Let's see if I manage to beat the high score. Oh, new top score. Fantastic. There we go. So I've taken the second spot. How did I get $500? That's insane. I'm going to go on to one of the street races now. Show you what this mode is, because this is a really cool mode as well. Let's find one that we haven't set a time for yet. The Mott Manor Rally. So, these point-to-point races, as you can see, very kind of familiar if you've played any games like this before. These point-to-point races work well because you can't really see... Oh, you can see it there. The game doesn't just draw your next destination, it also draws the one after that. So it makes it easier to see where you're going next, so you can kind of drive a little bit more kind of intelligently. Only showing the next marker on the map is a mistake a lot of games like this make. Not so in Whiplash Taxi Co. Okay then, race complete. Let's see how well I did. Okay, so it just records. Oh, interesting. So it's like a best of 3. It only records your fastest lap. Anyway, that was a new best time. Let's see. Was it a gold time? No, it wasn't. Oh, it was only bronze. Wow. 44.75 seconds for a gold. Yeah, as you can see, the street race actually has kind of par times in there. Really nice little addition to the game, I think. So that was Whiplash Taxi Co, and that was the final game in my 2023 roundup. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play through my favourite games from 2023. So many good ones, so many platformers. But no, there is so many good games on Pico 8, so many different styles of games, different genres. I just happen to like platformers a lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me play through these, and I hope you enjoyed watching my videos throughout the year. 2023 was a really good year for the channel. I got to 1,000 subscribers. Started a Discord as well. If you want to come and hang out with people who watch these videos, talk about Pico 8 games, give me recommendations, yeah, join the Discord. You are more than welcome. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon in the new year for hopefully some more weekly Pico 8 videos. So, cheers for watching. I'll see you again very soon.